everyone get out.
Hello tankers and tankettes, I thought it was time for a bit more live play, and I'm actually going to do something a bit different today. I'm going to look at the new historical battle mode. What I'm going to do is I'm going to play both of my tier 6 tank destroyers on the Lake Balaton the Operation Spring Awakening, and that's because I'm grinding both of these for a tier 7. There's also the options of Battle of Bulge and Battle of Kursk, but these two I happen to actually be grinding, so these are the ones I'm going to play, and also hopefully there will be less of a wait time. Now, for the JagdPz IV, you get the 75. I keep wanting to say 75 centimeter, but no, it's the 7.5 centimeter L70, which is a decent gun, and I've put binoculars on there as well. There is a bit of a problem with historical battles in that the number of people playing them seems to have dramatically crashed since that first initial flush of curiosity. I think there are certain things that wargaming, bear in mind that this was a new battle mode, and that they definitely, that wargaming need data, and they need people to actually play it and get enough battles worth of information before they know how to tweak it best. But it's kind of a pity that it has dropped off so badly. I have tried a couple of times where I've been for the maximum queue time, which is 5 minutes, and then it just kicks me out because I've been queuing for too long. So we're definitely going to skip ahead here, because there's every chance that I might be queuing for 5 minutes and then it kicks me out and then I have to queue again. So hopefully not, but you never know. So here we are, second time lucky. As we can see, as expected, we are outnumbered on the German side. The enemy team actually, it doesn't matter that much. We do have superior hit points, superior armour in terms of the Tiger 2s, but the ISs, I think they still get the 122mm guns, so they're still very effective units, especially they've got pretty decent speed. So we will hide that. I've got my binos, as I was saying, so I might be able to spot stuff. Our best chance is basically sticking together, because if we split up, then they will very easily overwhelm us. It's kind of risky taking the lower tier tanks. I mean, obviously the higher tier tanks are always going to be the more popular because they've got the bigger guns, they've got the beefier armor, but it's kind of, you're kind of relying on them to not be terrible and to do a decent job, but for all the tanks, it's essentially two random teams where more teamwork is required, so it can be a bit iffy. That might be one of the reasons why this game mode is less popular. I'm also going to say I'm probably not going to be playing fantastically well myself, because I haven't been playing much over basically the last week, partly because of Kerbal Space Program, and even if you haven't seen the video, you'll have seen that video appeared. So I've been learning the ropes in that, basically, and not really regretting taking a little break from World of Tanks. Not a massive one. I've still played the odd battle, but really not many. But the other reason has been that my brother has been visiting, so they'll actually, when this comes up, there will have been a gap of about 2 or 3 days with no videos, and that's just because once my brother was here, I had a couple of videos kind of saved up to upload, but I wasn't really able to do much recording while he was actually here, because we were just out and about doing stuff, basically. So he was here visiting, staying with me, we did some touristy things, and that was rather nice. It's always nice when family comes to visit me, rather than me having to traipse across to the mainland to visit them, because that's a bit of a chore when you live on a little island in the out in the northwest of nowhere of Scotland. So as expected, this does seem to be the kind of favoured side. Now I am rather hoping they can't see me in terms of view range. We need our tigers to be kind of aggressive, but not too aggressive, because if they get screwed, yeah, that could be a bad thing. Well, if they get screwed, that's us lost, basically. So my job is to try and stop them, to try and do some damage, and also to stop them being kind of rushed, flanked, whatever. Oh, I come up with a much better chance of hurting that. If I could actually hit something, that would be good. Like I said, I'm kind of rusty. It's surprising, it's like been just about a week and I'm already surprisingly rusty at this game. But it's like, I'm playing World of Tanks, and all I can think of is, but how much Delta V do I need? And you know, other silly things like that. We need to nail this that IS there. This is actually most of their ISs, so I actually need my shells not to bounce. I need to be able to do some damage. They're being rushed. That ain't good. That was a silly side of the turret. Oh, the side of the turret even bounced. Yeah, no, we may be a bit screwed here. That was just a panic shot. Yeah, like I was saying, you definitely rely on your heavy tanks to do their job. Unfortunately, this was they were a lot more sensible. This was all of their heavies, basically. Our other Tiger 2s. If our other Tiger 2s had been here, maybe we could have done better. But as it was, no. So I'm going to do what this other JagdPz IV is doing. He's being rather sensible and just fleeing for his life. And if we can get down to the river, if our Tiger 2s are responding to the situation, maybe we can do this. But I'm thinking maybe not, because we've only killed an IS so far, to the loss of 2 of our Tiger 2s. The pen on that 122mm gun, you know, it may not be fantastic, but it's still enough if you can surround people and overwhelm them with numbers. It's almost a pity there isn't yet any way of basically playing with people in a coordinated way. Now I can see why they wouldn't want to put platoons in, but there needs to be some kind of analogue of the I said historical battle mode there. This is historical battle mode. Well done. Wow, our Tigers actually went for their cap, apparently. There needs to be some analogue of team company battles, or maybe something like the 742 format, or you know, some kind of points-based system with actual coordinated teams. Because at the moment with random teams, I think that is possibly the biggest factor in why this is not the most popular game mode. Why it took me 2 goes to actually get into a battle is just the fact that it's relying on one utterly random selection of teammates, and if you don't all speak the same language, oh, that was not gonna ever go in. Yeah, I'm probably gonna die, but if I can... No, we're not capping anymore. We have lost this, I suspect. Is my arse showing? I don't know. Well, I've done some damage, but it's been for naught. Their group tactics worked a heck of a lot better than our group tactics. If our Tiger 2s had come with us, but as it is, they're not even... I mean, they're close-ish to each other, but this guy is... Yeah, he's a bit screwed, the other guy's a bit screwed, and they're just capping anyway, so... Yeah, I suspect this one's not going to be a win. Even if they do weather this onslaught, they are still capping. So that's that, unfortunately. We'll just watch the rest of this one. I don't know whether to do another one, actually. It takes so long with the queuing. And today being a Monday, it's a jingle stream. I said that on one of my recent replays and apparently confused a lot of people. And somebody even said, Jingle streams? Jingles does not stream. When I say a jingle stream, I mean a Monday stream on Circumflex's channel, where Jingles has, you know, done his regular thing and appeared, because that is effectively, you know, one of Circumflex's Jingles streams, because Jingles. Does that make sense to anyone else, or is that just totally confusing when I put it like that? Obviously it's confusing to some people. Maybe I should just stick with a Monday stream with Jingles. Maybe that's just clearer. Anyway, these guys still alive, but they're both potentially one-shot kills. Well, this guy's potentially a one-shot kill if somebody gets a high roll on him. The other guy, possibly not. 2-shot. You know, 493 hit points is... that would have to be a really high roll to nail. Is that even possible with the 122? Maybe. Not sure. Anyway, we're about to be capped out. We'll take a quick look at the scores, and I think I won't, you know, I think we'll just stick with this. I was originally going to do this, the JagdPz IV and the SU-100, but I think it's just, it takes a bit too long, unfortunately. So there we go, they capped. If our Tiger 2s had been, like, near the cap zone still, our cap zone, we might have done that, but as it was, no. That lone damaged IS could have been easily killed. Yeah, damage-wise, that was okay, but yeah, it's just it's less a matter of damage and just more a matter of tactics in these modes, and you really have to stick together as a group because otherwise it does not work so well. So there we go, historical battle modes. I think it's got a lot of potential. I think Wargaming need to do something with it soon, though, before the numbers playing it just drop too low for it to be viable anymore. They hopefully have enough data now. They've already mentioned some ideas they've got for tweaking historical battles. I really hope they implement those sooner rather than later, because I really want to like historical battles. It needs some tweaks, though. It needs some changes, and the sooner those come along, the more likely historical battles are to become more of a popular game mode, because at the moment it's dying, and that's not a good thing, because this was one of the big features of patch 9.0, apart from HD models and the kind of the preparation for Havoc physics in one of the later 9.0 patches, or 9.x patches, I should say. So yeah, fingers crossed. I hope this game mode does have legs, because at the moment the queue time is killing it. And as an aside, you know, that's one of the reasons why Wargaming are so leery of tinkering with matchmaking, doing anything that increases queue times, because this is a perfect example of the fact that people in World of Tanks are used to those short queue times. That's one of the good features of the game. Or, well, semi-good, you know, it has its costs, but one of the better features of the game, short queue times. You throw in some longer queue times, and suddenly, you know, this particular game mode is practically deserted at the moment. So that's a lesson in point as to why Wargaming are so wary of doing anything that increases queue times. So, if you liked this little look at historical battles as they are in 9.0, you can leave a comment below, you can hit the like button, you can subscribe to my channel, and of course, as always, stay tuned for more.